Hey everyone, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. So I thought for today I'd do like a how to grow your Instagram kind of video because I've had that requested a lot. But how to grow your Instagram like genuinely, not using any of the apps, not using any buying apps because they are so dangerous. It's so easy for you to get hacked through using them. So I'll jump straight into it with the tips that I've written down. So the first tip is having a theme. So to have a theme for your Instagram page, you kind of want to make sure that you've got like the same effect on all your photos or the same filter, that sort of thing. If you're using the same filter on all your photos, then it's going to look a lot more professional because they all look the same and it's a lot more satisfying for people to look at, which means more people are more likely to follow you. But especially if you're wanting to do kind of like if you're a blogger, if you're an influencer, and obviously you're wanting to work with the brands, then you need your page to look professional. If you're wanting your page to look professional, then having the same filter on all your pictures makes it look more aesthetically pleasing to brands, so they're more likely to want to work with you. Second thing would definitely be engagement groups. I know a lot of people don't like engagement groups, they don't agree with it, but then again, each to their own. It's worked for me, don't work for everyone, but I suppose it depends who's in the group with you. So for the people who don't know what an engagement group is, it's basically like a big group chat with a bunch of people, ideally that have kind of like the same idea as you. So if you're a fashion account, an engagement group with loads of fashion accounts is usually a really good idea, especially if you've got like a similar following to each other. So you could have a group with people in that have got like between 1,000 and 5,000 followers, then another group with people that have got 5,000 to 10,000 followers in, etc. But they're just a really good way of helping each other being able to grow, and then you're more likely to get your name out there. Third thing would be doing shout outs, and I mean I said all this in one of my, not my last video, the one before that. I spoke about doing shout outs in that video, but like I said in that video, it's the exact same thing again. You just want to make sure that you're checking people's likes against the following. So let's say if you've got an account that's, let's say your account you've got, I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000 followers, and an account messages you or someone messages you that's got 10,000 followers, and they say to you, do you want to do shout out for shout out? And you're like, yeah, of course I will. But instead of falling into that trap, some people, yes, have genuine followers, and have that amount of genuine followers, but you definitely want to check. So go onto their page, and if they're only getting a few hundred likes on there, the followers are not real. Simple as that. Or the ghost followers that, accounts that don't get used anymore. So you want to make sure that they're getting a decent amount of likes if they've got a big following, because otherwise if you're doing shout outs with them, you're literally just expecting to get a bunch of randomers, a bunch of weird people, a bunch of ghost accounts, that kind of thing following you, and that's really not what you're wanting to do because it clogs up your account then as well, so it's just not a vibe. So another thing I recommend, if you're an influencer, you're a blogger, that kind of thing, you're wanting to work with the brands, you definitely need to have a good attractive bio. Main thing is if you've got a bunch of like emojis, that kind of thing in your bio, it looks very immature and very unprofessional to brands, and they will just turn you away. They won't want to work with you because it doesn't look remotely professional. They're scouting to find accounts that look professional and look like they'd be able to get across their products, that kind of thing, successfully. And if you've got quite an immature account, they won't even reply to your email. So honestly, changing your bio is definitely worth it. So in my bio, mine includes my first and my last name, or like whatever name you go by. Have that bit in the bit where it literally just says what is your name, because it comes up bold then. So I just have my name in there, your email address, and like what you do. So like with me being a makeup artist, mine says in mine I'm a makeup artist with my account tagged. Another thing, definitely want to set your account to a business profile. If you set your account to a business profile rather than just like an ordinary account, you're more likely to be exposed to the sort of people that you want to be working with. So to change it, you're going onto your Instagram, onto your profile, and in the top right corner, I think there's like 3 lines or something like that, or some dots, that kind of thing. And click on that, and then I think you scroll right down to the bottom, and you can choose to change it to a business account. It says to connect it to a Facebook thing. You can literally just name it loads of random letters because no one's going to see it anyway. It's just so it's connected to something else. Then you want to choose your category. I think mine's blogger on my main account, and then just obviously makeup artist on my makeup account. But having a business account, like I said, more brands will see you, so you're a lot more likely than other people who don't have a business account to get the collaborations. Another thing is your background. A lot of people, and I see this a lot on Instagram, will post a picture. Bear in mind these people are actually trying to work with the brands. They'll post a picture in the bedroom and it's a right mess. Like, dirty clothes on the floor, bed's not made. What sort of brand would want to work with that? Like, they don't. They, just to be completely honest, they don't want to work with people like that. Whereas when you see the accounts of the people that are, you know, they're going out, I mean, not like you can get right far right now, but still. Definitely recommend go out. Obviously after all of this, go out, take pictures, you know, find a nice place if the weather's nice especially. But even if the weather's like not the best, like you can still get good pictures. You actually can. Like, so many people are, I'm not going out because it's raining. I'll get my collaborations done on another day. The longer and longer you take to get your content for a brand, the less likely they are to want to work with you again. A lot of brands usually say within 5 days we want the picture, 7 days or 10. The majority of them say 10 days and they say, you know, within 10 days we want all the content back, edited, whatever you want to do with it, etc. Let's say if you've got a bit of time on your hands, and even if you're at full-time work and you're still a blogger, you're still doing the collaborations, etc., you can still make it work. Go out, get your pictures done. I literally get my pictures done, come back inside, edit them and get them ready to post and save them as a draft on my Instagram. So then I have a certain time that's the right time for me to post my pictures. So like, for example, for my account, the majority of my followers are active at around between 8 and 9 o'clock at night. So that's why I post the majority of my pictures at like 9 o'clock, because that first 10 minutes of you posting a photo is so vital, because that's where, you know, your engagement rate's going to shoot up, your profile visits, that kind of thing. So I also recommend, if you've got like any white parts on a picture, like if you've got a white background, a white top, white shoes, that kind of thing, whiten them. There's so many apps you can use for it, but definitely whiten them, because it just makes your picture a little bit more sharp and it makes it stand out more. Whereas if you're just posting a picture that's not really been, not that it has to be overly edited, like so you look like a different person, but like the colours and the contrast, saturation, that kind of thing, it changes your photo so much, which changes your whole aesthetic and how your profile looks, that kind of thing. And brands do look out for that, and they do look out for, you know, people that, you know, they know how to take a good picture, they know what the poses are, they know how to edit it properly so it still looks good. But also say, try not to repeat the same background. So let's say if you get a picture in your bedroom, you've made your bed all nice, you sat on the end of your bed, you get a picture or something like that. For your next picture, you don't want to do the exact same thing but in a different outfit, because you will more than likely end up doing the same pose. For me, like sometimes I'll take a picture inside. Normally where I'd go out, obviously because I can, I just go into my back garden and then I get my pictures in there. Still outside, it's a different background. And even though it is just your back garden, it's still a different background. It's switching it up, it's changing it. It still makes it interesting for brands to see. So the next thing that I would say, and this is the biggest thing for wanting to grow your Instagram, lighting. Some people honestly don't think lighting matters, and it... Hun. Lighting matters more than anything when you're getting your pictures. I mean, I bought a little kind of clip-on, kind of like a ring light. I mean, I don't know where it is. They literally just clip on to the top of your phone by your camera, and then there's a little button on the top and you can change the lighting, you can change how bright it is, change whether it's like a warm light, cold light, that kind of thing. Even then, they cost a couple of quid on Amazon. Get yourself one. They're not that expensive and it changes your picture so much. I mean, and I use another form of lighting as well. It's literally, the ring light itself is about that big. It clips onto your desk or like drawers or something like that. And then it's got like a pole that kind of comes up. It's like a phone stand, so it holds your phone, and then another pole with the ring light, so you can move the ring light and still have your phone. So it's basically like the big ring lights, you know, like the big standable ones, but it's just handy because you can move it about with you, you can travel with it, that kind of thing, and it folds down as well. Another thing is your account. Always public, not private. If you've got a private account, brands aren't going to be able to find you. They want people that they're going to be able to message straight away. They want to be able to contact you, whereas if your account's on private, they're going to have to request to follow you, which means then their message gets put in your message requests, and it's just dead hard to, you know, work out a collaboration that way. And as well as that, the whole point of the collaboration is that yes, you're receiving free things or you're being paid for it, but you're both trying to get your names out there. They're trying to get their name out to your audience, you're trying to get your name out to their audience, and vice versa. And if your account's on private, and I know this because I do this myself, like if I go to follow someone and they're on private, the majority of the time I want to go follow them because I want to see their account like straight away, see what you know, what your content's like, that kind of thing. If you're on private, majority of the time I won't even follow you because I just can't bother to wait. And a lot of people think like that, so having your account on public is a lot better. Another thing is hashtags. This is a key thing. for getting your name out there, getting onto the explore page, that kind of thing. Also kind of links into the tip about your account and being on public, not private. Because if you are using hashtags, so let's say hashtag explore page, blogger, fashion, that kind of thing, makeup, whatever your category is that you work in, if your account's on private, you're not going to come up in the hashtags, so it's literally just pointless putting them there. A lot of brands that have PR lists, they scout for influencers. Like a lot of the makeup brands that I work with, to get onto their PR list, I'd have to tag them in my hashtags on my post. I'd put hashtag, and then they'd have a certain hashtag for their PR list, and then their PR team would then look through the hashtags, you know, what pictures they've been tagged in, what looks they've been tagged in, that kind of thing. And that's how a lot of them scout for influencers for collaborations. You want to kind of put hashtags that are relatable and like viral hashtags, things that are popular, that kind of thing, things that people actually looking for. Hashtag fashion's a really good one because pretty much everyone uses that. Just that kind of thing. If there's something going on in the world, even if it's got nothing to do with your post and it's hashtag something that's going on, put it, because people are going to click on that hashtag to see what else is going on in the world, see your picture, you know, give them a follow, and then they're more than likely to follow you, like you, comment, etc. The other thing is your insights as well. Your insights is when you're on a public account, you've got a business profile, and you can see how many people have viewed your profile each week, how many people have followed you, unfollowed you, whether you're on like a plus or a minus, what percentage of your followers are male, female, where they're from, that kind of thing. But your insights are really important because that is literally just telling you who and what your target market is. As an influencer, you need to know who your target market is because you need to know who you are actually creating content for. It's the same thing as I said in my other video. You need to know who this content is for. You know, if you're making it for younger people, what's like your age category, that kind of thing. But in your insights, you can see like your age categories as well, whether the people that follow you are like 13 to 17 or 18 to 26 or 24 or something like that. And then like 26 to 30, etc. It shows you the age group of the majority of your followers. So that's pretty much everything. I just thought I'd give you a few tips, as I had a lot of kind of messages about how I grew my Instagram, that kind of thing. And yes, I've done promo programs before, but a lot of this I already knew, to be fair. A lot of it to me was just common sense. And obviously if you want your name to get out there, use hashtags, stuff like that I already knew. But yes, a lot of stuff I have learned through promo programs too. But like I said, Georgia Portogallo's program is also really good. She teaches you all this kind of thing, but she goes a lot further in depth with everything in every category. She speaks about a lot more subjects as well. If you're wanting to message Georgia in regards to a program, make sure that you mention that you came from Kaya's video so she knows that I've sent you. So that's everything, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, homes!